Well, folks, we just had our holy crap, what just happened kind of day. And no, you're not having a Groundhog Day moment. No, you're not having a repetitive day of what happened yesterday. We're not talking about tariffs dropping. No, we're talking about the NDP taking direct aim at Mark Carney. We're talking about Donald Trump having a call with Justin Trudeau and putting him on blast for the world to see. We are talking about mad, huge political turbulence that I honestly didn't see coming today. May have seen the Trump thing, but did not expect the NDP moment to happen today. And we're going to address both stories today because it is, quite frankly, wild. We're going to start with the NDP first, and then we'll get to the juice for the end of the episode. But Nikki Ashton, MP for the NDP, and this is the first time I've seen her in quite some time. What a way to reemerge into federal politics here in this country. Listen to what she says here.
Which brings me to Mark Carney and Brookfield Asset Management, the person who has been touted as having the solutions to our economic challenges. And yet Mark Carney is very much the poster person for the broken system, the hollowing out of Canada that has made us so vulnerable today. Mark Carney has a clear track record of pushing for wealth accumulation for the rich at the expense of workers and Canadian communities. A 2023 report from the Centre for International Corporate Tax Accountability and Research called Brookfield Canada's top tax dodger. In 2021, Brookfield Asset Management dodged a jaw-dropping $6.5 billion all on its own, according to Canadians for Tax Fairness. In 2021 alone, Canada lost $30 billion in corporate tax revenue to offshore havens. This means that 1 in 5 of all the tax dollars corporations diverted from the Canadian public came from Brookfield alone. This is obscene, and Canadians are paying the price. Today, we in the NDP are calling on Mark Carney to come clean about his role in Brookfield's exploitative practices. Did he help Brookfield dodge taxes? Canadians deserve to know.
Canadians deserve to know. Nikki, I'm right there with you, sister. What a statement. Hits the facts, hits the issues, all the things that the Conservatives have been doing and been trying to bring issue to. She did it all in that minute and a half. Mark Carney's not who you think he is. He's actually helped the likes of Brookfield divert tax dollars away from Canada. He has hollowed out the economy here in this country. He has helped do it. He is not who he says he is. And I got to tell you, here, NDP, Nikki Ashton, this is crazy. Did not see that coming today. And my friends, I don't think you realize that is the kill shot to the Mark Carney campaign. It is over. Because it's one thing for the Conservatives to say it, right? It's one thing for the Conservatives to say it. And it's a whole other for the NDP to come out and have their followers hear about Mark Carney. And don't worry, it's not by accident. There's definitely some selfish reasoning for them coming out for it. And one of the reasons being this, the fact that the Liberals are taking some vote share away from the NDP. That's why they came out with this today. At this point, Conservatives need to stop attacking the Liberals. Sure, expose some things that they've been doing here and there, but now's the time to focus on your campaign, focus on what you're going to do, stick to your race, and let Carney absolutely burn out, because he's going to. This is huge. To hear that coming from the NDP, and admittedly, that is a big statement only because the NDP and the Liberals have always had a hard time communicating properly and effectively with the media. I have to give credit to Nikki here. She did a very good job of communicating clearly with what's going on and what issue they have with Mark Carney. And bravo to her. I really think you start replaying that here and there. Mark Carney's toast. That is the Tulsi Gabbard to Kamala Harris nuke out of orbit. You don't need to do much more after that. It is over because of all the issues that have been coming up with Carney lying multiple times over the past several weeks, getting caught in it, the media having to cover it because it became so loud. And then now you got the NDP saying, yeah, we want to know Mark Carney's business interests. We want him to disclose his financial interests to the Canadian public before he ever becomes prime minister. We want to know what's going on. Some shady things have been going on with Brookfield and how they've been siphoning money out of the Canadian economy and not providing anything of value in return. So what's happening with Brookfield? Carney, we want answers. And to that I say, yes, we all want answers. Which shifts us to today. It was reported that Donald Trump was going to hop on a call with Mexico and Canada today to discuss meeting in the middle, having a conversation about what we're going to do about these tariffs. And Trudeau and Trump had that conversation today. And quite frankly, from Trump's recollection and his statement on Truth Social, it didn't necessarily go well. And here's what he had to say about it. Justin Trudeau of Canada called me to ask what could be done about the tariffs. I told him that many people have died from fentanyl and that came through the borders of Canada and Mexico, and nothing has convinced me that it has stopped. He said it's gotten better, but I said that's not good enough. The call ended in a somewhat friendly manner. He was unable to tell me when the Canadian election is taking place, which made me curious, like, what's going on here? I then realized he's trying to use this issue to stay in power. Good luck, Justin. For anyone who's interested, I also told Governor Justin Trudeau of Canada that he largely caused the problems we have with them because of his weak border policies, which allowed tremendous amounts of fentanyl, illegal aliens to pour into the United States. These policies are responsible for the death of many people. Putting Trudeau on blast and Trump doing what Trump does. He likes to hit you with a knife and twist it a little bit. Because this last piece here, he says, he was unable to tell me when the Canadian election is taking place, which makes me curious, like, what's going on here? I then realized he's trying to use this issue to stay in power. Good luck, Justin. And we know why Trump said this, because we caught yesterday Trudeau saying there's going to be a transition period between him and Carney, or whoever ends up becoming the leader of the Liberal Party. And that made everyone freak out. Because it's been a while since we've had a change in leadership, people forget that there's actually a transition period between leaders in this country. And rightfully so, people have been traumatized by this government over and over again, and we can't really give them the benefit of the doubt. But in this case, there is a transition period, and it can be upwards of a month, even if it's within the same party. A lot of things have to switch hands, and conversations need to be had. But the right wing took that statement from Trudeau yesterday and ran laps with it. And Trump knew this. And he decided to poke the wound, twist the knife a little bit more to get people riled up and get the people going. That's what Trump does. It's what he does best. And we all know why Trudeau couldn't commit to an election date is because Liberal leadership candidacy hasn't finished yet. And then it's going to be up to Mark Carney or whoever the leader ends up being to decide when they call an election. Trudeau is obviously not going to let that out of the bag right now. He can't afford to. So that's why Trump knows what he's doing, folks. He does. He knows the sore spots and he knows where to press. He knows where to apply pressure to get you out of the way. And that's what we're seeing here. That is what's happening. And I know there's a lot of people who are very concerned that they don't think Trudeau's leaving because that statement he made in his press conference yesterday. I can assure you, we are getting an election and it will be called in mid-March, likely targeting a late April date. It's going to happen. Sources within the Conservative Party believe so on high authority. Sources in the NDP Party believe so on high authority. And we've seen how Mark Carney's interacted and how his campaign's are already falling apart because they can't keep up with the lies. We covered it yesterday where his campaign's the one who's answering all the questions now. And he's not saying anything. They are hiding him away. You think they're going to try and extend this to October with so much media scrutiny on him? He can't afford it. He can't afford any negative press. They have to move to an election right away if he wants to get power for 4 years. They have to. Election is going to be called. There's one thing to talk about conspiracy theories and see, and that's what they are. They are theories at times, and some are legitimate, some are not. In this case, I understand the trauma you've been put through the past 4 years. I understand what's been going on. I understand where it comes from. But as sure as the sky is blue and the sun is coming up tomorrow, we will be getting an election late April. And you can take that to the bank right now. I'm putting it into the ether. I'm putting it into the world. And you'll have the receipt to come back at me if it doesn't happen. But you can take it to the bank. It's going to happen late April. You have the Pleb reporting saying multiple insiders are reporting that an election in Canada will be held on April 23rd. Liberals have already started renting campaign offices. Election season is officially here. It's go time. There's definitely some gravitas to what he is saying here. Because we have here at Elections Canada is that your office must be fully operational within 48 to 72 hours after the issue of the writ. For a fixed election date, the chief electoral officer may authorize the early opening of your office. But this is not a fixed election date. So we know that a writ is going to be dropped here soon. And their offices need to be operational within a maximum of 3 days of when the writ drops. Right now it's March 5th. We're expecting a writ to drop anytime between March 9th and March 15th, March 10th and March 15th. It's going to land in there. And April 23rd seems like that's going to be the date, which is exactly 44 days from March 10th. Time to buckle up, folks. It's coming. An election will be coming. And the NDP coming out saying what they did today, Mark Carney, polls are going to start shifting yet again, folks. It's about to get wild in here. And with the fact of what Trump said to Trudeau, looking like those talks went absolutely nowhere, I think it's time to admit that Trudeau's time is over. The Liberals' time is over. Trump is going to wait out for someone else to come to the table when they actually have a real mandate. That's likely what's going to happen here. Talks between Trudeau and Trump are done. Those days are over. Now it's time to look forward and seeing who we can get to represent our country as we go on. Have yourselves a good one. I'm out.